Welcome back to school. With me today, President of Cape Cod Community College, John Cox. John, everybody's back in school. Classes are in session. There's lots of activity on the campus.
It's a great time. We have resumed the fall semester. We're running at full throttle, so to speak, and we're looking forward to a delightful academic year. Lots of new activities going on, sort of a refresh to the campus itself with some work that occurred over the summer, and the extra lift of hearing from the state and the administration's commitment to a new science and engineering building.
That is just really amazing news. So let's talk a little bit about that because, you know, there's so much focus on STEM, science, technology, engineering, art. I always say art and math, but
right.
STEM. And the college really was a proponent of trying to get some of these classes into the campus, but the buildings just weren't designed for it.
Well, we're still basically dealing with the original building that was constructed back in 1970, and very limited to the modifications that we can do with it given the what it's built out of and how it's laid out. So we did do a study about 3 years ago with the state, and the conclusion was that it would be better to build new and replace the existing structure. And we have been working with the state over the course of, actually it probably goes back more than a decade now, right, in putting this proposal through to get the funding for a new science and engineering building. About a $38 million project, $25 million committed from the state. That'll take us through the design planning stage, through the construction. So we're looking at about a 3.5-year project, and working with our college educational foundation, there will be a fundraising capital campaign that'll be tied into this so that we can raise the additional funds that are necessary to really enable this investment to carry our students into the next generation of being STEM or STEAM graduates.
Right. And let's talk a little bit about what some of the college's focus of that STEM or STEAM is. You know, a building is a building, but we're preparing the future folks for jobs.
Right, and I would agree that the building is the building, and it's really our faculty who make it what it is and who enable the success of our students. So as we look at what we're designing around, one of the overarching themes is what we call modularity. We want to lay out a building that over time, as technology changes, we can adapt to that without having to make major changes in the physical structure of the building. So it minimizes the long-term cost of the facility. If we look at some of the latest work of our STEM network and how the network ties in with area employers in the STEM fields, we work with our K-12 partners, some other four-year institutions, and other organizations on the Cape. It becomes the alignment of how can we better meet the needs of the folks that are here, enabling success for our students who graduate, and also opening the possibility to students who may not otherwise consider opportunities in the STEM fields, that they can gain exposure through the facilities, through the courses that we're able to offer.
That's fantastic.
Long
time coming. You know, I've been a proponent myself of that new building and STEM in general, and I've sat on the advisory board for the STEM network, and it's just amazing news that students at 4Cs can at least explore something now.
It's truly an exciting time, an exciting opportunity, and we're looking forward to pushing this along to the next round as we get underway with design.
And you have so many exciting things happening at the college. You know, we have a list of things to talk about today, and it's like, oh, which one do I want to do next? But really, one of the incredible success stories of Cape Cod Community College in a recent 2 years is you have filled the avionics program this year. It's got a waiting list.
The aviation maintenance technology program, we're getting to that critical mass consistently with every cohort. We continue to offer the program. It's a certificate or a degree program in airframe and power plant. And we've also received funding this year of $100,000 to put toward the startup of avionics. So we're moving ahead with a
Right.
business plan to pull that off as well. But our students, our first 2 cohorts have graduated. They're in various stages of completing their FAA certification, but more importantly, they're out there, they're building their careers in the aviation industry, and we're talking about some serious recruiting that's been going on, very impressive, and our students are bound for a successful career in the industry.
Right, and I don't know if all residents really understand that this is really well-paying jobs. I mean, really well-paying jobs, and they're local to our region,
That's correct.
or the national or the world. I mean,
You can take this education and go anywhere in the world with it, and you can use it to build on to other aspects of the industry. And we have our graduates are tied in here locally at Cape Air. They're up at Logan Airport with the carriers that are working out of there. They're also on the West Coast. The recruiting is literally, it's national. They show up at our facilities. It's a really competitive event, and they're definitely after our graduates. So it's an exciting time for the college.
yeah, and
It
it's a
really is.
great facility too. I had visited it during the ribbon cutting, and it's just a really cool simulations. The whole painting simulation thing.
It's how we prepare our students for their careers they're choosing.
Right. That's great. Now, there's something new. You and I had talked about it. We weren't ready to go public with it, but you are getting a program from a college that is no longer, and it's ready to be announced.
We have worked with the folks at Mount Ida College and the University of Massachusetts. As Mount Ida was closing, we became engaged in the effort on how do we help the students that are in the funeral service program that basically at the closure of the institution had nowhere to go. And there aren't many institutions that offer similar programs. We did step up to the plate, so to speak, in April. We've run a very aggressive effort over the course of the summer. We received the Department of Higher Education approval and the specialty accreditors approval for funeral service to do a teach-out program that will actually start in October for the funeral service degree, and this would be for the associate's degree tying directly into a career path to become a funeral director. And through our partnership, with the folks at Bridgewater State University, the program will physically be located on the campus at Bridgewater State. In part, we're trying to mimic some of what the Mount Ida students had. They'll have the opportunity to take advantage of residence life right there on the campus, but also offering a more cost-effective method to attain the degree. Now, along the way, we've also recently found out that another school in Connecticut is closing that offers a similar program in mortuary science. So we have reached out to that institution as well as the Board of Higher Ed to see if we can include them in the teach out as well. So we're trying to be nimble with the industry. We're definitely in discussions with the funeral directors both across the Cape and even at the state level to address those needs going forward. So there's critical need for this educational area.
Right, and it's somewhat divergent here, but it comes together as aviation and funeral services both in dire need of people.
Yes.
On
Yes.
every
and
facet of it.
Fundamental mission of the community college is how do we continue to look at, analyze what's happening in our community, where the needs are within the region, and how do we address those needs in as timely a manner as possible. And this is what we've been doing.
Right. So when we look at the college as a whole, there's so many programs that Four Cs offers now, these
Right.
two new ones, obviously. What's the campus like now? Because there's so many different divergent. I mean, community college is a melting pot, right?
It is. It's and it's a matter of both engaging and working with the students. If we look at our core group of students and the demands, what they're taking, we are still fundamentally working with students that are moving along to take care of their general education requirements as they prepare to transfer on to four-year schools. Right. But at the same time, we have a large number who are gaining experience in various fields. They'll take either their certificate or their degree, and they'll enter the job market as well. Yeah. But there's other nuances with what we offer. The Commonwealth Commitment, for example, the ability for students to begin their college career at Cape Cod Community College with a commitment. If they maintain their grade levels, they can get a 10% rebate every semester to apply to the next semester's tuition and fees. And when they transfer to one of the Massachusetts public higher education institutions, that commitment will continue. So you can literally push down even more on the total cost of the bachelor's degree through some of the offerings and through the alignments that we have with degree programs with the 29 institutions across Massachusetts higher ed. The other point I would make is that over the course of the summer, we've done a number of refresh programs. We've gone into the Grossman Commons. It's been brightened up. There's been new lighting. There's been some, if you remember the flags in there, we've standardized the size of the flags. It's really sharp looking. It's a brighter area. There's been some work on the landscaping as well. So we're continuing to nurture that along. And there's also some additional funding from the state that we'll be using to improve some of the entrance ways and to make the campus more welcoming to those that may have accessibility challenges.
Right. It's an exciting time for Cape Cod Community College.
It is an extremely exciting time, and we're very fortunate for the commitment of the state to enable us to move ahead and really for positioning the college for future generations of folks here in the region.
Excellent. Much success, John.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.